In your head, you think you've mapped out this super clear process, and then you put people in it and you realize, oh crap, this thing is unbelievably complex. Hey everyone, I'm Patrick Laughlin, Chief Operating Officer for iProv, and today we're going to be talking about one of my favorite subjects, process. We're going to be watching a little bit of a video from the founder. This is where the McDonald's brothers sort of mapped out their process for how a hamburger goes from raw materials to a delicious snack in somebody's car or somebody's hands at their stores. It's really important for business owners to define how raw materials turn into finished goods in their business, even if they're not a manufacturer. iProv is a knowledge working company. We turn raw ideas into finished products that help our clients grow. But we still think about it like Ford thinks about building cars. Really, we think about it like Toyota builds cars, because the Toyota production system is sort of the dream of every process-oriented executive. Let's dive right into the founder.
We bring out our whole staff and we have them go through the motions, making pretend burgers and fries.
All right, Steve, anticipate that. You got to keep the tray level.
One of the things that the Toyota production system talks about is work cells, and how can you maximize the amount of work that can get done in one place with the least amount of hands touching it. They'll sort of build these arrangements like you're seeing on this tennis court that says, if we put this person here doing these two jobs, how can we move the thing around them so that that's all they have to do? What I also love about this is I built a whole lot of flow charts and sort of digital process maps. My favorite tool is Lucidchart for this, but there are lots of those out there. And in fact, you could do it with just pencil and paper. What I love about this though is because it's a physical process and it does involve people moving around a space, they made it life size. They went out and they said, we have to actually see how people interact with this. That's really important too, as you're sort of mapping out the processes in your business, is how do real people interact with this? What information do they need to know? What are their goals? Why are they doing it? A lot of times that's more important than what needs to be done. One of the biggest frustrations I hear from business owners is, I know what I expect of my people. Why don't they deliver it? Well, the truth is, your expectations are not being clearly communicated, and you don't have a system that allows them to meet those expectations. And if you don't have that system, if you don't have a way to communicate that to them, they're never going to be as successful as you think they should be.
No. Everybody stop!
Okay, so I've been there before too. In your head, you think you've mapped out this super clear process, and then you put people in it and you realize, oh crap, this thing is unbelievably complex. How can we simplify it? One of my sort of favorite executives to follow is a guy named Keith Raboy, and I've actually just stolen some of his operating rules, he calls them. My favorite of which is an executive's job is to clarify, simplify, and eliminate. It's the truth. Not only do you have to build the process, you have to watch it work, and then you have to constantly remind people and clarify for them why that step is important. But you also need to be humble enough to look at it and listen to their feedback and say, you're right, this can be eliminated completely because it doesn't actually add value to anything that we're trying to do. I love this part where they're looking at it, they're choreographing it, they're giving honest feedback, and they're looking for ways that they can improve it well before they've even put it into place. So this is a perfect example of what Toyota calls constant improvement, and they have a word for it, and I can't remember it now. I must not be as much of a Toyota guy as I thought I was. You put a process in place, you follow and watch, observe people working that process. You elicit feedback from them, and if you find an opportunity to change it in a way that adds more value to the end customer, you change it. A lot of business owners get stuck in, this is the way we do it because it's always the way we've done it. And the cost of change can be expensive, but often the rewards that you reap after that change is put in place are exponential to the cost.
Finally, after about 6 hours of this, we get it just right. It's a symphony of efficiency, not a wasted motion.
I love the fact that this only took them 6 hours. That sounds like a long time, but for most businesses, you can't lay this stuff out on a tennis court and have everybody show up on a Saturday to run it. Most of these things, you just have to trust it for at least 90 days, sometimes 6 months before you have enough data to say, here's where this can be fixed or here's where things can be changed. A perfect example is iProv. We changed our onboarding process. We realized that we had some major holes and some problems with it, and we're currently in the process of changing it again. This is the third or fourth iteration of this particular onboarding process. I would love to say that we could have done that after 1 or 2 clients, but the truth is it just takes a little bit of time and patience to figure out what's broken. Also, when you're dealing with multiple processes, you have to worry about the downstream effects. How will this change affect something else that is already working well? Tell me about the processes in your business. I'd love to know down in the comments. If we earned it, give us a thumbs up. And please, if you want more videos from us, hit that subscribe button and the bell so that you get notifications for when we do release new videos. Thanks, everyone.